Hi, I'm Stacy with Worship Guitar Resources, and today we're going to take that HX Stomp patch from scratch and convert that into a dual amp rig. If you haven't yet downloaded that one, get it free in the description box below. Not everything we had on that preset will make the cut on this one, but we're going to see how much we can get out of it. My goal with this channel is to help you to play better and sound better in your worship services. And I do that through the cover videos where you can get the tabs and the HX Stomp preset and sometimes a Helix preset specific for that song, as well as videos like this where I share things I've learned on my tone journey. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit subscribe. All right, let's get to it. If you remember, we have the Matchstick Channel 1 with a dual cab. We're pushing that with an heir apparent. We're pushing that with a Diana drive. We're running the dynamic hall and the transistor tape, both of those in mono. All right, so right off the bat, for sure, we're going to get rid of our modulation because we're going to need that block for our cab, and I believe we're going to want to get rid of the Diana drive. I don't think we're going to have DSP for that. So let's move these things, and then I'm going to right-click and copy the amp, and then paste it right here. Not enough DSP. We got to get rid of the dynamic hall. So get rid of that. So now we have 2 amps. We're going to drag this one down to the B path and move our, the mixer. So we have 2 amps, and then they're going to go into the mixer. We're going to split those left and right, and that will keep the stereo image from our wet effects going into the amps. So one to the left, one to the right. All right, and then we want to change our simple EQ. It's the Holy mid-range at 777 hertz at 2.5 decibels. We're going to convert that to stereo so that our final output is stereo. If you do everything stereo up until that point and have a mono block at the end, you'll have a mono signal. Change that, 2.5 decibels. We're good there. And then let's see what reverb we can get. Glitz. Let's see, stereo, glitz, yep. All right, so let's just put that at 5. All right, and then pre-delay, let's take that to 100 milliseconds. Leave the low cut, go just 20% on the mix. Trails on, and let's see how that sounds. We'll bring that high cut up to, let's see, 10.5, we're already there. All right, and then let's see our tape delay. Let's go stereo. All right, the tape delay is not available in stereo, so the mod chorus is similar. It has an actual chorus effect, which is similar to the wow and flutter. So we'll bring our feedback up to 45. And mix on this one will go 35. See how that sounds. So the scale, if you have it anything but 100%, you're going to add additional delay time. So this is dotted eighth with, I think it might be quarter. I'm not sure what it is, but there are specific ones that appear for you at 75% and 50%. And then here's 24. So we're just going to keep that at 100. And as you can hear, the repeats are kind of getting thinner and almost going into a swirl. So we're going to just see real quick, bump the speed a little bit. We'll go 2 on the speed and then see what depth does. All right, so the depth is like the depth of that tone, and it gets real thin real quick. And very little change at 100%. So, but you can hear the speed of that chorus almost going into vibrato territory. So we'll bring that down to 1. I like that. It's a little bit present. Maybe we'll just drop it down another 2 points, so 0.8. And then if you like that, having that delay repeat get a little bit thinner, then you'll want to just bring that depth down. All right, so we're stereo on our delay, stereo on our reverb. Our amps are stereo. Our cabs are stereo. Let's see, actually, yep, we want to pan those. So we're going to pan to the left our SM7 microphone, and to the right, our SM57, and then we are stereo at the end. All right, so we'll turn off our delay and our reverb and our overdrive, and then we'll dial in the amps. So the way I do it is I'm gonna bring the volume down on the B path, which is going to be this amp, and center the A amp, and that's all we're going to hear. So this amp I'm going to make clean, so we're at 3.5. I'm going to turn that down to 3 and bump the channel volume up just a little bit to equalize that volume. Adjust the cut and treble. Let's see, we'll keep that at 3. I don't want to go too low. All right, that's pretty clean for the purposes of this setup. And now we'll turn that volume down, bring it back to the left, and then bring the B path volume up to 0. Oops. And then center it. And then this one we're going to bump up. I think I want to bump it up to 5. So we were at 3.5. We're going up to 5. See how that sounds. All right, that's pretty good. It's pretty well overdriven. And that combined with our cleaner amp is going to give us some great dynamics. Go 0. And then to the right. And then here's how they sound together. All right, we're also going to split the input to the amps to A and B path just to get the most out of our stereo image. All right, now we're going to dial in our overdrive. So we got rid of the stacked overdrives. We're only going to use one, and we're able to do that because we can change the parameters on the heir apparent to get the tones we need. So the first one we want is going to be fairly clean. Bring it down to 6. Just check the volume. We got quiet, bump the level on that. We'll go up to 6 on the level, see what that does for us. All right, that's pretty good. So what I was going for is slightly more overdriven than the amp. That way, if we want to kick this off to get the cleanest tone we have, then it's not a big volume drop. And we're going to set up the gain to snapshots and the level to snapshots. And then snapshots 2 and 3 will use this. We also will have the option to turn it off, putting that on a foot switch. I'll do that now. So you just right click and then bypass assign. We'll put that on foot switch 1. And then we want to save. Haven't saved since we started, so that's a good thing. And then I want to see real quick if we can get a compressor, and we cannot. So what options do we have? for an additional effect. It looks like we don't have anything. Since we're running stereo with our delay and reverb, we won't be able to fill in that 8th block. Let's see. Unless we changed our overdrive. So let me see. What if we go to the Minotaur? Nope. That takes more DSP. Compulsive drive. All right, we'll do that. So the compulsive drive will be our overdrive. And that allows us to have a compressor. We're going to drop that down to, we'll go 25. 4:1. I don't want it to bump volume. I want the attack to be kind of light. We'll try 80 milliseconds. And the release at 200 milliseconds should be good. So it'll grab it pretty quick and then release it pretty slow, so you don't get a drastic moment where you hear that compressor working. All right, that's good. And then now we'll edit in our overdrive. Go ahead and turn off the compressor, and our delay and reverb are off. And then we're going to try to dial in kind of a light overdrive, and we'll see how we can do with this one. We might need to change it. It looks like we do have options. We've got top secret overdrive, which I think is like the preamp, the 250 preamp from DoD, tube screamer, a rat. Oh, we got the Tima. All right, that's actually going to be what we're going to use. The compulsive drive is great if you want to push some high gain, but it's tough to get, for me anyway, to dial in a good light overdrive. So we want to just have a light overdrive for our snapshots 2 and 3. Let's see how this sounds. All right, that's pretty good. It does need a little bit more drive. Almost just sounded like it was doing an EQ effect to the amp, and we weren't getting any more overdrive. So let's see. I like that. Treble cut, I think it's a little bit bright, so let's bring that up. It was at 5, 7.5. All right, that sounds great. So let's also, like we did with the heir apparent, we're going to right click on gain, change that to snapshots. The same with level. I didn't change the clipping, but it sounded good. So if you want to experiment with that and see what those are going to do for you, you're welcome to it. I'm going to save and then turn our delay and reverb back on. And also real quick before we get too far in, let's set up feedback to snapshots and level on our, level mix on our delay, and then decay just puts to snapshots and mix to snapshots. And just hear what that sounds like real quick. For snapshot 1, it's a bit heavy on the reverb, so we'll bring that down 3.5. All right, that sounds great. And then we want to push the gain on this one. So this will be like our intro, our kickoff, our lead tone. So let's see. All right, I like that. So let's just hear what that sounds like with a lead tone. All right, that sounds great. That's a good lead tone. So I'll turn on our compressor. It won't add a lot. It's just going to kind of smooth out the tones coming from the guitar. All right, snapshot 2. Make sure our reverb, delay, all of our effects are on. So on this one, we definitely want that decay up near 5. That's good. Mix, let's try 30%. That's nice. And then a little bit louder repeat. We'll try 45. All right, that's good. I feel like the amount of overdrive happening there is pleasant. Our reverb and our delay sound great together. And everything's coming out. All right, snapshot 3. This is going to be for swells. Make sure everything's on. Okay, and then we're going to bump our decay up to, let's try 7. And then our mix will go 45%. I wonder what 10 sounds like on the decay. Let's see. It's a little bit much, but I can see it definitely being something that's usable. All right, that decay is a little better for this purpose. We're going to bump our feedback up to 65% just to get more repeats coming out, and then our mix up to 45% just so that they're a little more present, just to give us great swell tones. We'll go on the neck pickup for this one. So just going through, everything's good. Pretty good. And that's with the volume pot. So if you're using a volume pedal on your pedal board, then those swells will be even smoother. Now I'm looking at my DAW, and the output volume that we have is a bit low. So we want to push our volume a little bit. Let me just see where we're at. One way we can do that is through the channel volume, but I like to use that to get the amp set at the right level, and then I will bump the level off of the speakers. So we're going to bump these ones, try 2 decibels and see what that does. 2 decibels each. So each side's getting the same amount of bump. Go another half. So the goal here is just to get the most clean volume out of the Stomp before you get digital clipping. We don't want that. So that's what we were doing here. And that seemed to accomplish the goal. Another way you can do that, if you're interested and you don't want to mess with the level on your speakers, is just your regular output. There's, what do you got? 20 decibels of boost. right there, and you can just kind of increment that until you get right at the line that you're looking for. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, subscribe and hit that like button for good measure. Let me know, how do you prefer to run your Stomp? Do you go heavy with the amp setup, or do you go light on that and leave room for modulation and other effects? Let us know in the comments below. Also, there's a handful of downloads you can get for free in the description box. They're just free for you to use however you like. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.